Wednesday, March 15th. So today we will see the moon in Sag go void of course at 4:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be locking into Capricorn energy at 8:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the transition from Sag energy to Capricorn energy, typically speaking, is a thump. Why? Because we're flying high, we're all revved up, we're all over the place, scatterbrained, just, excited to experience anything in the world with this Sag energy. It is a fire energy, so there is a lot of sparks and flames and passion and fire and desire taking place while the moon is in Sag. But then we just slap down and we hit the earth. Of course, Capricorn energy is earth energy. And typically speaking, we get a little bit of a reality check and we start realizing where it is that maybe we bit off more than we can chew. Maybe we committed to too much. Maybe we dreamed too much of a big dream that we just can't accomplish. And that's what we do in Sag energy, is we expand the possibilities. We push the boundaries of the horizon. We bite off more than we can chew. We dream the biggest dream possible because we need that hope, that excitement, that inspiration. When we move into Capricorn energy, it's like, okay, let's get realistic. What can we actually achieve? Where do we have to kind of redefine what it is that we were excited about, where our passions are igniting within us? And what this Capricorn energy does is it pushes us to get a little bit more responsible and accountable for doing the actual work that is needed in order to actually get to the vision, to the dream, to the goal. So it does kind of feel like we hit a brick wall when we first move into Capricorn energy. But let me just say, Capricorn energy, we are very productive. We're going to see a lot of immediate rewards for our energy and for our efforts, especially when we start kind of unpacking the mental and emotional baggage that we need to be unpacking in order to kind of lighten the load for us to move into a brand new astrological calendar. So after a day, a busy, chaotic, very pressurized day like we just had yesterday, we actually have a semi-slow day here today with 6 different aspects. 5 of them involve the moon, and the one aspect that does not involve the moon involves our yearly conjunction between the sun and Neptune that we will talk about in just a second. The last thing that I want to throw at you here today is that this is the last day that Venus will be in Aries energy. She is scheduled to move into her place of power, to take her throne, to take her place of power, of comfort, of rulership when she moves into Taurus energy. So of course there is an astro forecast out about what that whole energy and vibe is going to do for us. You can take a listen to the March energy forecast for the ins and outs on what this is going to mean. But just know that even though today is a little bit quiet, a little bit, I'm going to say more safe, secure, and stable than the last couple of days have been, it will likely come with a heavier weight than what it is that we have been experiencing. So right out of the gate, we have the moon. The very last aspect that the moon in Sagittarius is going to make before going void, of course, is a trine, beautiful energy with Venus, who of course is in the latter degrees of this Aries energy as she wraps up this particular cycle. What we're getting here is an emotional aha moment on what we need, what we want, what we deserve, what we desire, what we want to pursue, what makes us happy, especially where relationships are concerned, and taking a good look at our finances are concerned. So Venus is very connected to worth and value. Yes, worth and value within herself as far as self-confidence, self-love, self-esteem goes, but also to our finances. And right now, we are all pushing to be a little bit more self-sufficient. We are all tapping into all the resources that we have, and we need to be tapping into skills and talents that we've been sleeping on in order to kind of bust them out and to create something new in our lives. Emotionally speaking, we are putting some of the puzzle pieces together and really kind of defining for us the areas of our lives that are not making us feel safe, secure, stable, happy, joyful. And we are really kind of getting down to the nitty gritty on what we got to let go of in order to have the space to create something new in its place. The moon then goes void, of course. Things are shaky. Things are unstable. We do not want to make any kinds of decisions or align with any kind of choices while the moon is void. And while the moon is void, we, still in this Sag energy, are going to pop off and make a little bit of an aspect with Pluto, the great transformer himself. This does suggest that we are aligning with a higher perspective, which we are kind of using our observer mentality to see the comings and the goings and the circumstances and situations that we just came out of from a different light. Again, the Sag energy is our spiritual wisdom. We do have the ability to align with our higher selves, to act as the observer, to see where we have divinely scripted circumstances and situations in order to push us into our soul's highest potential. Pluto, the great transformer, does kind of indicate that we had a shift in our perspective because he deals with the psyche first and foremost. You need that light bulb to go off. You need that switch to be flipped in your psyche to see things differently, to understand them in a different way, to perceive them from a different set of eyes, a different understanding, in order for the domino effect to take place, changing the way that you feel about a situation. This is all good vibes. It means that we are kind of shifting our energy, our vibration, our frequency into something new, into something higher, into something lighter, which is exactly what we need to be working on and constantly aspiring to do. So the moon will lock into this Capricorn energy at 8:06 a.m., again, Eastern Standard Time. 9:42 a.m., we have the moon in Capricorn making its very first aspect. It's a sextile, so this is good vibes, with Saturn, its ruler. So there is an intensity here. Saturn, of course, in Pisces energy. The whole vibe here, Saturn adds structure. He adds roles, responsibilities. He bosses us up, pushes us into seeing where we need to be more disciplined in our lives to create a foundation that will be strong enough to house the dreams, Pisces energy, dreams, ideas, inspirations that we have. This is a blending of energies, realizing where it is that we can't just sit back and hold a visualization on what it is that we want to see happen. We actually have to roll up our sleeves, put some elbow grease, do the work, if you will, to create the kind of system, foundation, and structure in our lives that would actually align with the vision, with the dream, with the goal, with the idea, with the inspiration that we're looking to manifest. Now, lucky for us, this is a sextile, so this is good vibes between the moon and Saturn. But emotionally speaking, we are rising to the challenge. Emotionally speaking, we are bossing up. We understand what it is that we have to do. And because we are very eager to kind of see the rewards for our energy and our efforts, we are looking to get down to the nitty gritty. We're looking to get the party started, so to speak. And we're really examining what it is that we have to clean up, what it is we have to provide a completion point to in order to have the space to start building this new structure, this new foundation, this new routine, this new system that will eventually bring our dreams, our ideas, our inspirations to life. The moon in Capricorn energy will go ahead and make an awkward interaction with Uranus, who is in Taurus energy. Uranus, being the great awakener himself, is going to provide us with a little bit of an emotional confusion situation. Why is that? Well, because we're in the stage right now where we need to accept the breakdown in order to prepare for the breakthrough. Now, the Uranian energy is really pushing us to see where it is that we can change things up, where we can switch things up, where it is that the change and the transformation is needed to our routines, to our relationships, to our money matters, to our overall physical realm, if we stand a chance in hell of actually inviting in a new reality and be able to actually manifest some elements of our dreams, our visions, our goals. The moon will go ahead and trine beautiful energy with the true node, who of course is in this Taurus energy, who is trying to show us the path that we need to be on in order to reach our soul's evolution, our soul's fullest potential. This trine tells us that we are putting the pieces together. We do know the step forward. It might just be a baby step, but we know the approach that we have to take in order to get this party started. We see what it is that we're leaving behind. We see what it is that we are healing. We see the growth. We see the change. We see the transformation taking place inside of ourselves first, because that's where change needs to happen. We have to change our mindset. We have to change our emotions, get them in alignment before we can engage the physical body to go ahead and take action out in the physical world in order to replicate and mirror back the changes we've already arrived at in our inner realm. So this is a good indicator that we're starting to plan, we're starting to strategize on where we need to pour our time, our energy, and our attention in order to actually make moves, take action, to move forward, to make progress, to get a plan together, and to actually see it very clearly on how it is that these baby steps are going to equal the greater, grander picture, the vision, the goal. So the last aspect that we have here today is the sun in Pisces energy, coming up, sitting next to, bumping into Neptune, who is in its place of power in Pisces energy. This happens every year as the sun goes through all the different signs of the zodiac. It will bump into any of the planets that are in that particular sign. Neptune's been in Pisces for quite some time at the latter degrees of Pisces energy. And as you know, we are in the last days, the last week of Pisces season, which means that the sun is at the latter degrees of Pisces energy. And this is why these two are meeting up. They haven't seen each other for a year. They have a very brief time together before the sun moves on and moves kind of outside the orb of being able to communicate with Neptune. But let's talk about what this actually does for us. So first of all, the confusion that we've been sitting in, the want, need, and desire for truth, for meaning, for purpose, we start kind of seeing where that meaning is, especially in our past experiences. This is like elevating into our higher selves to see the experiences that we're looking back upon as we wrap up this year, as we wrap up this chapter, and we're starting to see the meaning behind them. We're starting to see the pieces snap together. If we didn't have the experience that we had 8 months ago with this particular individual or this particular circumstance, we wouldn't be in this moment with this lesson behind us, with this knowledge, this wisdom in us now integrated in this present moment, acting as an operated wholeness as we move forward into a new year. Now, let me just say that this is a highly sensitive time. Pisces energy, period. We are hypersensitive in our emotions, in our thoughts, in our energies. We're picking up on the energies of the cosmos, of other people. We don't know what energy is ours, what energy belongs to other people. We're super sensitive to everything, especially seeing as we're rapidly cycling through moods and attitudes. Why is that? Because time has sped up in order for the evolutionary process of us kind of getting the lessons, moving through the emotions. We have to do it a lot quicker. And there is a lot going on in the world. Even though it might not look like it in your day-to-day life, there's a lot going on behind the veil, behind the scenes, behind the curtain, if you will. And I'm going to say we're so hypersensitive that our intuition should really be our strongest point. However, there is this wish-washiness, this vagueness that we don't necessarily trust the intuitive insights, the gut feelings that are coming through right now. And even more than that, it's almost like we are resisting the changes and transformations that we've been praying for, that we know that we need to make. We're on the precipice here. We're on the cusp of having to kind of like walk the walk and talk the talk of what it is that we've been praying for. And we're having a hard time defining what it is that we're fighting for. Again, I want to invite you back to the fact that we have this Mars square Neptune aspect still going on, creating a lot of confusion, a lot of uncertainty, where it is that our actions, our goals, our dreams, our visions are concerned, where it is that we're lacking motivation, inspiration, determination to actually, identify a path and go after it. So, we're kind of all over the place. We're fragmented, if nothing else. And we want to go with the flow, but we don't really know where the flow is going. And we want to trust the process, but we don't even know what process we're in. And we're just a little bit overwhelmed with energies. Now, this is definitely going to trigger and activate a new level of awareness within us. This is going to amplify the dream state that we've already had a very wacky time trying to kind of decipher and discern. We have a lot of creative energy and ideas coming at us, especially in the higher levels of our intellect, but we can't articulate them. Why is that? Because Mercury is in Pisces. Like I had mentioned, we have Mercury as a major factor because he's coming into play not only to meet up with the sun and really kind of just blast our mental plane wide open, but also to play into the square between Mars and Neptune. So there is a tension building here. There's pressure building. And the ants in our pants are becoming more and more. The anxiety, the anticipation, the edginess, the urgency is becoming more and more because, again, we are wrapping up certain cycles. We are putting things to an end. There is a closure and a completion point happening on multiple levels right now as we get nearer and closer to starting fresh, to our resurrection, our rebirth that is coming when the spring equinox triggers Aries season. So, what I would say to you is that yes, today is a relatively calm day. Thank goodness that the moon moved into Capricorn, providing us a little bit of a grounding point, because when the sun actually goes ahead and meets up with Neptune at the latter part of the day, things are going to get whack. Okay, things are going to just get foggy and confusing, even more so than what it is that we've been experiencing. And we're going to likely be focused on, the difficulties that we're having, trying to figure things out, define our path and define our goals and recognize our dreams and identify our visions on what it is that we actually want to pour our time and our energy into. And so don't be hard on yourself today. I know it's hard to not be with these particular energies and aspects, but let's slow it down. Let's breathe. Let's lean into the confusion, because what we know to be true is that there's always a huge amount of confusion before a huge amount of clarity.